Okay, so I'm trying to fit some 31 1050 15 Goodyear Duratracks on my 2004 Chevrolet Tracker. It's a V6 automatic, 4-door, 4-wheel drive. Picked up the tires, great deal, used, only a couple thousand miles on them, got them for just over 400 bucks. Did a eBay 2-inch spacer lift kit with the upper strut spacer and the coil spring spacer. Lifting the vehicle just a couple of inches, trying not to get it too big because this is going to be my daughter's first vehicle ever. So picked the unit up for a really good price and just trying to make these tires fit without having to lift the vehicle anymore. So just doing a little modification. We started out by trimming the bottom of the front bumper here. We figured out that if we trimmed the bumper from the original bolt fastener here out to the outer edge point in a very slight arch, and then we drilled a hole and put one of the push plug Christmas tree style fasteners through the bumper cover and into the factory inner splash shield. We can retain that splash shield and give ourselves plenty of clearance on the front side of the tire so that we can turn without any rubbing. However, on the back side, we're going to have to get a little more aggressive. Already tried trimming just the plastic rocker panel. Definitely not enough. So on the other side, I've already pulled all the fasteners out of the rocker or the fender well liner here. So we'll try to bend that out of the way to show you. Behind the fender well liner, you'll see we've got a bit of a seam here, the body line seam, where they've pinch welded that all together, and then down here into the fender, which is kind of filled up with some crud. However, on the other side, I've already done this. I took my 4-inch electric cutoff wheel. I've cut just below this fastener location, back into the solid part of the wheel well. So it disappears. There's probably 3/4 of an inch of metal here that I've cut back and folded over on the other side. And I'm going to, on the bottom, what I ended up doing is I cut laterally straight back into the fender here, and then again just above the top here, folded that whole pinch weld over flat against the inside, and then I cut the fender itself out here straight at, maintaining a straight line from the edge of this fastener location, and folded the bottom of this up against that inner liner. That's given me about 1.5 to 2 inches of clearance here in this area, which is right at the critical point where the tire rubs the fender there. So I'm going to make a few cuts, and we will kind of show you what we're doing as we go. Alright, so I took the tire and wheel off here, and I got all my tools in place. Now I'm going to commence to doing the cut. So 4-inch electric cutoff wheel. Make sure you got on some sort of glasses and some gloves here so we don't eat too many sparks, and let's see if we can get this done. excess mud and crud out the corner here. We'll get out my 3-pound adjustment tool. Okay, so you can see that I've gotten all them pieces of metal folded into position. It's tightly back to that inner structure as I can, and so I wiped it all down just loosely with a glove, knocked the dirt off. Sprayed a little rubberized undercoating on all that just to kind of seal any bare metal spots. It's not going to get seen, so it doesn't have to be pretty. More just worried about protecting the bare metal areas. So then I took the original fender liner and brought it back into position, and what I found on the other side is there's a little tab that sticks off the rear corner here. I had to trim that tab off in order to get it to set back in as far as I wanted it to kind of fill in that hole back in there. So used the utility knife, just lobbed that corner off nice and clean, just like made it look like that piece originally came just as a flat panel. Got that held back into position. Reutilized the factory push pin connectors in these two upper portions. I got those. Push those back into place. So on the bottom position here, I used a Christmas tree style fastener, some that I had here. They're just fill in a 1/4-inch hole. Take that and put that there, and then a couple of self-tapping sheet metal pole barn style screws. And re-screw this plastic back into place so that it keeps the fender liner tucked back in tight, won't get caught on the tire. A little extra tap just to kind of make sure that corner is arched in nice and rounded as best I can, get all the clearance I can. We'll get the tire bolted back on and double check it all here. Just a side note, while I was looking at spacers, I made sure to get the ones that were specific for the Tracker. The center hole or bore diameter is exact match for the OEM wheel. That way you can utilize it to hold the center cap into position. Though the center cap may be recessed, at least it's hiding the other stuff that's going on in there. You don't have that big empty hole in the middle. I don't know if any of you know, but the center cap on this is kind of a press fit in behind the rim, so just thought it was kind of neat. You could still cover that area up by using the right adapter. Alright, so you can see with the modifications that we've made, we now have more than adequate clearance to the back side of the fenders there for turning. So we got no clearance issues whatsoever. Even under a compression situation out two-tracking or even pulling into a steep driveway, we should have no issues there. So. Then on the front side, you can see the same thing. We've done enough trimming, give ourselves decent clearance. the off chance it does rub just slightly on the front, it's just the plastic bumper cover. Nothing that's going to hurt anything or cut or damage a tire. So if preferred, you could clearance that out a little further. However, I wanted to maintain the stock appearance from the outside of the vehicle, so I chose to keep my trimming to the inner portion of the bumper cover. But when it's all said and done, we got a tracker with just a couple inches of lift. It's got adequate clearance to maneuver with the 31-10-50-15 tire. 2 inches of lift and 1.5 inch wheel spacers on the stock wheels. So prefer kind of that clean, understated look. Almost factory-like appearance. It makes people question, like, is it really a tracker? It looks a lot tougher or bigger than other ones that I've seen. And hopefully it serves us well. Thanks for watching.